Our 19-person newsroom has over 300 years of journalistic experience, most of it coming right here. What makes up a newsroom? Well, we're sports writers, columnists, reporters, editors, page designers, videographers, photographers, social media experts. Pretty much any way you want to receive your news, we're going to ship it to you. Connect with us to get your news your way today.
Timeout!
Hi and welcome to Timeout. My name is Tom Behmer. I apologize to all area basketball teams for basically taking the week off last week. I was having trouble breathing. I'm not now. Basketball brought me back to life, and basketball has been brought back to life at Winside. The Wildcats this year, they're having their best year in 11 years. 13-8 now after a loss last week to Osmond. Osmond, the number 2 team in Class D in our area. The Wildcats pushed them to improve to 13-8. This is something you've kind of seen coming from Winside over the last few years. They've got a good core group of kids leading the way. Jay-Sean Viborny averaging 15.3 points per game, Dylan Brogren at 11.9, Brandon Waters right there at 11.3, and Colton Jensen at 6.5. Now after their loss to Osmond, they have 1 game left in the regular season. They travel to Cedar Bluffs. Should be a winnable game, get them up to 14 wins. You win a game in the postseason, that's a 15-win season. And Winside does have a legit shot, as the kids would say, at reaching the state tournament. Let's see what happens when we get to the postseason. Sub-districts are going to be released on Tuesday, so we'll know exactly where they stand. We'll also know where Osmond stands after the Tigers then lost to Laurel Concord Coleridge on Saturday night, their 3rd loss of the season. A team that also lost Saturday night but won before that, actually 4 games in a row before that, Norfolk High. The Panthers back above 500 at 11-10. They beat Grand Island 62-56 on Friday night. Big win for the Panthers. Grand Island had won 7 of 8 games before that game. Norfolk with its 4th straight win before losing to Millard South the next night. What the Panthers proved in that loss to Millard South, though, is while they lost by 18 points, they're right there with pretty much everyone in Class A. Big difference this year for Norfolk as opposed to the past few years. The Panthers will definitely have to win to get into the state tournament. One team that won't have to win to get into the state tournament, actually, Ponca could sit down right now. They could sit down on center court and say, we're not playing again until the state tournament, and they're set. That's a big reason why last week, 2 big wins, 34-33 over Gretna in the Heartland Hoops Classic on Saturday. This coming after Ponca beat Winnebago 64-59 in the Lewis and Clark Championship game on Wednesday night. Max Mason, 6'6" senior for the Indians, 23 big points. Carter Kingsbury, a sophomore, 18 large points. And Logan Kingsbury had 10 points and 6 assists in the win. Ponca is now 23-1 on the season. Winnebago is at 17-5. Perhaps even bigger loss for the Indians than the game was that they lost Devon LaPointe, their starting point guard, to an ankle injury. He was unable to play against Grand Island CC in the Hoops Classic. A loss for Winnebago. LaPointe is basically what makes Winnebago go. So the fact that they were able to play a very good Grand Island CC team that close without him in the lineup says a lot about what Winnebago can do in the postseason. And they're in good standing too. They're number 2 in the wild card standings as we get closer to the postseason. In fact, 4 of the top 6 teams in Class C1 come from this area: Winnebago, O'Neill, North Bend Central, and Logan View Scribner Snyder. Logan View Scribner Snyder is now 19-3 on the season. They're a win away from setting the school's all-time wins mark. Thank you, Melanie Brandert, for dropping that nugget of information on us. Glad it wasn't a chicken nugget. I would have eaten it. Nuggets. I like sandwiches too. So anyway, they tied the school mark with a 67-39 win over Clarkson Lee, but then they were defeated by Bancroft Rosalie Lions Decatur in a rematch of the East Husker Conference Tournament Championship game. BRLD now 20-2 on the season. That just shows the depth of the East Husker Conference. What Logan View Scribner Snyder has between itself and that school record for wins is a visit to UTAN at the end of the week. UTAN is 20-1. They're the number 2 team in Class C2, right behind Ponca. But Class C2 from bottom to top is loaded with good teams. In fact, 34 of the 56 teams in Class C2 are currently above 500, and there's 10 more with at least 8 wins. That means 44 of the 56 teams in the class have at least 8 wins. That means there's a lot of good basketball teams, and there are no gimmies in the postseason in Class C2. We will find out those sub-district brackets, as I said, on Tuesday. Games will get going next Monday, and then we're going to be into the swing of the postseason. We'll talk about what will happen then next week on Timeout. Until then, I'm Tom.